Hello and welcome to Daily Dose of English. I'm Jessica and I'm excited to be here with you today. Today's lesson is all about making friends in English. Making friends. That means finding new people to spend time with and enjoy life together. Making friends. Making friends. Now you repeat. You know, friendship is one of the most beautiful things in life, isn't it? But when you're learning English, meeting new people can feel scary. Meeting new people. That means talking to someone for the first time. Meeting new people. Meeting new people. Now you repeat. Don't worry though. By the end of today's lesson, you'll have all the tools you need. All the tools. That means everything necessary to do something well. All the tools. All the tools. Now you repeat. We're going to learn how to introduce yourself confidently. Introduce yourself. That means telling someone your name and basic information about you. Introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. Now you repeat. We'll practice asking questions to show interest in others. Show interest. That means demonstrating that you care about someone or something. Show interest. Show interest. Now you repeat. And most importantly, we'll learn how to keep conversations flowing naturally. Keep conversations flowing. That means making sure the talk continues smoothly without awkward silences. Keep conversations flowing. Keep conversations flowing. Now you repeat. So grab a notebook if you'd like, get comfortable, and let's dive into today's lesson together. Main lesson, Part 1, First Impressions. The first thing people notice about you is how you present yourself. Present yourself. That means how you show yourself to others through your words and actions. Present yourself. Present yourself. Now you repeat. Let me tell you a secret. Confidence comes from preparation. Confidence comes from preparation. That means feeling sure of yourself happens when you practice beforehand. Confidence comes from preparation. Confidence comes from preparation. Now you repeat. So let's start with the basics. The most common way to introduce yourself is simply saying your name. Hi, I'm Tom. Hi, I'm Tom. Now you repeat. But here's something interesting. In English-speaking countries, we often add a little extra information. Extra information. That means additional details beyond just the basic facts. Extra information. Extra information. Now you repeat. For example, you might say where you're from. I'm Tom from London. I'm Tom from London. Now you repeat. Or you could mention what you do. I'm Tom, I'm a teacher. I'm Tom, I'm a teacher. Now you repeat. You can even combine both. I'm Tom from London and I teach English. I'm Tom from London and I teach English. Now you repeat. Now here's a cultural note that might surprise you. In many English-speaking countries, people often shake hands when they meet. Shake hands, that means grasping someone's hand briefly as a greeting. Shake hands, shake hands. Now you repeat. But these days, especially after recent years, many people prefer a simple wave or just saying hello. That's perfectly fine too. The most important thing is being friendly and genuine. Being genuine. That means being real and honest, not pretending to be someone you're not. Being genuine. being genuine. Now you repeat. Let's practice some more introduction phrases. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Now you repeat. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. Now you repeat. Great to meet you. Great to meet you. Now you repeat. All of these mean the same thing, but they have slightly different levels of formality. Formality. That means how polite and proper you sound. Formality. Formality. Now you repeat. Nice to meet you is casual and friendly. Casual and friendly. That means relaxed and warm in tone. Casual and friendly. Casual and friendly. Now you repeat. Pleasure to meet you sounds more formal and polite. More formal. That means more proper and businesslike. More formal. More formal. Now you repeat. Main lesson, part 2, asking the right questions. Now, here's where many English learners make a mistake. They introduce themselves perfectly, but then the conversation dies. The conversation dies. That means the talking stops and becomes awkward. The conversation dies. The conversation dies. Now you repeat. The secret to avoiding this is asking open-ended questions. Open-ended questions. That means questions that can't be answered with just yes or no. Open-ended questions. Open-ended questions. Now you repeat. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like this city?" you could ask, "What do you think of this city?" What do you think of this city? What do you think of this city? Now you repeat. Here are some fantastic conversation starters. Conversation starters. That means questions or phrases that help begin a discussion. Conversation starters. Conversation starters. Now you repeat. What brings you here? What brings you here? Now you repeat. This means, why are you in this place? But it sounds more natural and interesting. How are you finding the weather? How are you finding the weather? Now you repeat. This is a polite way to ask someone's opinion about something. What do you do for fun? What do you do for fun? Now you repeat. This helps you learn about someone's hobbies and interests. Have you been to this place before? Have you been to this place before? Now you repeat. This works great at events, restaurants, or new locations. Now let me share something really important about English culture. Many English speakers love talking about their experiences. Talking about experiences. That means sharing stories about things they've done or seen. Talking about experiences. Talking about experiences. Now you repeat. So when someone tells you something, show interest by asking follow-up questions. Follow-up questions. That means additional questions based on what someone just told you. Follow-up questions. Follow-up questions. Now you repeat. If someone says, "I just moved here from Spain," you could ask, "How are you finding the change? How are you finding the change?" Now you repeat. Or, what's the biggest difference you've noticed? What's the biggest difference you've noticed? Now you repeat. These questions show you're genuinely interested in their story. Genuinely interested. That means truly caring about what they're saying. genuinely interested, genuinely interested. Now you repeat. Main lesson, part 3, sharing about yourself. Of course, friendship is a two-way street. A two-way street. That means both people need to participate equally. A two-way street. A two-way street. Now you repeat. While it's important to ask questions, you also need to share things about yourself. Share things about yourself. That means telling others about your life, interests, and experience. Share things about yourself. Share things about yourself. Now you repeat. Here's a useful formula. Answer the question, then add a little extra. Add a little extra. That means give more information than just the basic answer. Add a little extra. Add a little extra. Now you repeat. For example, if someone asks, "Where are you from?" don't just say the country name. You could say, "I'm from Brazil, from a city called São Paulo." I'm from Brazil, from a city called São Paulo. Now you repeat. Then you might add, "It's huge and always busy. It's huge and always busy." Now you repeat. And then you could turn it back to them. "What about you? What about you?" Now you repeat. This technique keeps the conversation balanced. Keeps the conversation balanced. That means both people get to talk and listen equally. Keep the conversation balanced. Keeps the conversation balanced. Now you repeat. Here are some great ways to share personal information naturally. I really enjoy. Now you repeat. I'm passionate about. Now you repeat. This means you love something very much. In my free time, I like to. In my free time, I like to. Now you repeat. I've always been interested in. Now you repeat. Practice section. Part 1. Shadowing drills. Now it's time to practice. Let's start with some basic introduction dialogues. I'll say each line twice, then give you time to repeat. Person A. Hi, I'm Sarah. Hi, I'm Sarah. Now you repeat. Person B. Nice to meet you, Sarah. I'm Mark. Nice to meet you, Sarah. I'm Mark. Now you repeat. Person A. Great to meet you too, Mark. Are you enjoying the party? Great to meet you too, Mark. Are you enjoying the party? Now you repeat. Person B. Yes, it's lovely. How do you know Emma? Yes, it's lovely. How do you know Emma? Now you repeat. Person A. We work together. What about you? We work together. What about you? Now you repeat. Person B. Emma and I went to university together years ago. Emma and I went to university together years ago. Now you repeat. Perfect. Let's try another scenario. This time, we're at a coffee shop. Person A. Excuse me, is this seat taken? Excuse me, is this seat taken? Now you repeat. Person B. No, please sit down. No, please sit down. Now you repeat. Person A. Thank you. I'm David, by the way. Thank you. I'm David, by the way. Now you repeat person B. I'm Lisa. Do you come here often? I'm Lisa. Do you come here often? Now you repeat person A. Actually, it's my first time. The coffee smells amazing. Actually, it's my first time. The coffee smells amazing. Now you repeat person B. Oh, you have to try their chocolate cake. It's incredible. Oh, you have to try their chocolate cake. It's incredible. Now you repeat excellent work. Notice how these conversations flow naturally from introductions to finding common ground. Finding common ground. That means discovering things you both enjoy or have in common. Finding common ground. Finding common ground. Now you repeat practice section, part 2, question formation. Now let's practice forming different types of questions. Remember, questions are the key to great conversations. Let's start with what questions. What do you do for work? What do you do for work? Now you repeat, what kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you like? Now you repeat, what's your favorite thing about living here? What's your favorite thing about living here? Now you repeat, now, how questions. How did you get interested in photography? How did you get interested in photography? Now you repeat, how long have you been learning English? How long have you been learning English? Now you repeat, how do you usually spend your weekends? How do you usually spend your weekends? Now you repeat, and some where questions. Where did you grow up? Where did you grow up? Now you repeat, where's the best place you've ever visited? Where's the best place you've ever visited? Now you repeat, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Now you repeat, practice section, part 3, responding with interest. Now let's practice showing genuine interest when someone answers your question. Here are some great responses. That sounds fascinating. That sounds fascinating. Now you repeat, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. Now you repeat, really? I've always wanted to try that. Really? I've always wanted to try that. Now you repeat, that must have been amazing. That must have been amazing. Now you repeat, I can imagine that was challenging. I can imagine that was challenging. Now you repeat, how did that make you feel? How did that make you feel? Now you repeat, what was that like? What was that like? Now you repeat. These responses show you're actively listening. Actively listening. That means paying full attention and showing interest in what someone is saying. Actively listening. Actively listening. Now you repeat storytelling. A real friendship story. Let me tell you about how I met one of my closest friends. This happened about 5 years ago at a language exchange event. A language exchange event. That's a gathering where people practice speaking different languages together. A language exchange event. A language exchange event. Now you repeat. I was standing near the coffee table, feeling a bit nervous. Feeling nervous. That means being worried or anxious about something. Feeling nervous. Feeling nervous. Now you repeat. Then a woman approached me and said, "Excuse me, do you know if there's decaf coffee?" Decaf coffee. That means coffee without caffeine. Decaf coffee. Decaf coffee. Now you repeat. I laughed and said, "You know what? I was just wondering the same thing." Wondering the same thing. That means thinking about the same question. Wondering the same thing. Wondering the same thing. Now you repeat. We both started looking at the different coffee options together. Looking at options together. That means examining choices as a team. Looking at options together. Looking at options together. Now you repeat. Then I said, "I'm Tom, by the way. I'm here to practice my Spanish. I'm here to practice my Spanish. I'm here to practice my Spanish." Now you repeat. She smiled and said, "I'm Maria. I'm working on my English. I'm working on my English. I'm working on my English." Now you repeat. Perfect. We ended up talking for 2 hours that night. We ended up talking. That means we continued our conversation. We ended up talking. We ended up talking. Now you repeat. We talked about our jobs, our families, our travel dreams. We discovered we both love hiking. We both love hiking. We both love hiking. Now you repeat. Before leaving, I asked, "Would you like to grab coffee sometime this week?" Would you like to grab coffee? That means would you like to meet for coffee together? Would you like to grab coffee? Would you like to grab coffee? Now you repeat. She said yes, and we exchanged phone numbers. We exchanged phone numbers. That means we gave each other our contact information. We exchanged phone numbers. We exchanged phone numbers. Now you repeat. That was 5 years ago, and Maria is still one of my best friends today. We meet for coffee every month, and she's helped me so much with my Spanish. The point of the story: friendship often starts with the smallest interactions. The smallest interactions. That means very simple, brief conversations. The smallest interactions. The smallest interactions. Now you repeat. Storytelling, common friendship scenarios. Let me share some common situations where you might make new friends and how to handle each one. Scenario 1. At the gym. You're at the gym, and someone is using equipment near you. Using equipment. That means working with exercise machines or weights. Using equipment. Using equipment. Now you repeat. You could say, "Excuse me, are you finished with that?" Excuse me, are you finished with that? Excuse me, are you finished with that? Now you repeat. After they respond, you might add, "Thanks. I'm still figuring out this gym. I'm still figuring out this gym." Now you repeat. This opens the door for them to offer help or share their experience. Scenario 2. At work. There's a new colleague in your office. A new colleague. That means a new person you work with. A new colleague. A new colleague. Now you repeat. During lunch break, you could approach them. Hi, I don't think we've met. I'm Tom from the marketing team. I'm from the marketing team. I'm from the marketing team. Now you repeat. Then ask, how are you finding your first week? How are you finding your first week? How are you finding your first week? Now you repeat. This shows you're welcoming and interested in their experience. Scenario 3. At a neighborhood event. You're at a local community gathering. A local community gathering. That means an event for people who live in the same area. A local community gathering. A local community gathering. Now you repeat. You might say to someone nearby, "This is such a great turnout. This is such a great turnout. This is such a great turnout." Now you repeat. This means many people came to the event. Then follow with, do you live in the neighborhood? Do you live in the neighborhood? Do you live in the neighborhood? Now you repeat. This helps you connect with people who live near you. Advanced tips for deeper conversations. Once you've mastered the basics, here are some techniques for building stronger connections. Ask about passions, not just facts. Ask about passions. That means ask about things people love deeply. Ask about passions. Ask about passions. Now you repeat. Instead of, what do you do? Try, what gets you excited about your work? What gets you excited about your work? What gets you excited about your work? Now you repeat. Share your own vulnerabilities appropriately. Share vulnerabilities. That means admitting when something is difficult for you. Share vulnerabilities. Share vulnerabilities. Now you repeat. For example, I'm actually quite nervous in large groups. I'm actually quite nervous in large groups. I'm actually quite nervous in large groups. Now you repeat. This makes you seem more human and relatable. Human and relatable. That means easy for others to understand and connect with. Human and relatable. Human and relatable. Now you repeat. Remember names and use them in conversation. Sarah, that's such an interesting point. Sarah, that's such an interesting point. Sarah, that's such an interesting point. And now you repeat. People love hearing their own name. It makes conversations feel more personal. More personal. That means more individual and special. More personal. More personal. Now you repeat. Cultural notes about friendship. Before we finish, let me share some important cultural insights about making friends in English-speaking countries. In many Western cultures, friendships often develop slowly. Develop slowly. That means grow and become stronger over time. Develop slowly. Develop slowly. Now you repeat. Don't be discouraged if someone doesn't immediately invite you to their home. Immediately invite. That means ask you to come over right away. Immediately invite. Immediately invite. Now you repeat. This is normal. People often start with casual meetings. Casual meetings. That means relaxed, informal get-togethers. Casual meetings. Casual meetings. Now you repeat. Perhaps grabbing coffee or meeting for lunch before deeper friendships develop. Also, in many English-speaking cultures, people value personal space. Value personal space. That means respecting the physical and emotional distance people need. Value personal space. Value personal space. Now you repeat. Don't stand too close when talking, and avoid asking very personal questions immediately. Very personal questions. That means questions about private or sensitive topics. Very personal questions. Very personal questions. Now you repeat. However, once friendships are established, English speakers can be incredibly warm and loyal. Incredibly warm and loyal. That means very friendly and faithful. Incredibly warm and loyal. Incredibly warm and loyal. Now you repeat. Common mistakes to avoid. Let me quickly mention some mistakes that can prevent friendships from developing. Mistake number 1. Only talking about yourself. Only talking about yourself. Only talking about yourself. Now you repeat. Remember, good conversation is like a tennis match. The ball should go back and forth. Back and forth. That means between both people equally. Back and forth. Back and forth. Now you repeat. Mistake number 2. Asking too many questions without sharing. Without sharing. That means without telling anything about yourself. Without sharing. Without sharing. Now you repeat. This can make you seem like you're interviewing someone. Like you're interviewing someone. That means asking questions like you're hiring them for a job. Like you're interviewing someone. Like you're interviewing someone. Now you repeat. Mistake number 3. Being afraid of silences. Being afraid of silences. Being afraid of silences. Now you repeat. Sometimes conversations have natural pauses. That's okay. Natural pauses. That means normal moments when nobody is speaking. Natural pauses. Natural pauses. Now you repeat. You don't need to fill every second with words. Final practice, putting it all together. Now, let's practice a complete conversation from beginning to end. I'll play both parts, and you can repeat each section. Setting: you're at a bookstore coffee shop, and someone sits at the table next to you. Excuse me, I love that book you're reading. I love that book you're reading. I love that book you're reading. Now you repeat. Them. Oh, really? Have you read it? You. Yes, I finished it last month. What do you think so far? What do you think so far? What do you think so far? Now you repeat. Them. I'm enjoying it, but it's quite complex. You. I know what you mean. I'm Tom, by the way. I know what you mean. I'm Tom, by the way. I know what you mean. I'm Tom, by the way. Now you repeat. Them. Nice to meet you, Tom. I'm Jennifer. You. Great to meet you, Jennifer. Do you come to this bookstore often? Do you come to this bookstore often? Do you come to this bookstore often? Now you repeat. Them. Actually, this is my first time. I just moved to the area. You. Oh, wonderful. How are you finding the neighborhood? How are you finding the neighborhood? How are you finding the neighborhood? Now you repeat. And the conversation continues naturally from there. Recap and call to action. Let's quickly review what we've learned today about making friends in English. First, confidence comes from preparation. Confidence comes from preparation. Confidence comes from preparation. Now you repeat. Practice your introduction before you need it. Second, ask open-ended questions. Ask open-ended questions. Ask open-ended questions. Now you repeat. These keep conversations flowing naturally. Third, share about yourself too. Share about yourself too. Share about yourself too. Now you repeat. Friendship requires both people to participate. Fourth, show genuine interest in others. Show genuine interest. Show genuine interest. Now you repeat. People can tell when you really care about what they're saying. And finally, remember that friendship takes time. Friendship takes time. Friendship takes time. Now you repeat. Don't expect immediate best friends. Enjoy the process of getting to know people gradually. Making friends in a new language can feel scary, but remember, most people are kind and understanding. Most people are kind and understanding. Most people are kind and understanding. Now you repeat. They admire your courage for learning their language and will often help you practice. Your homework for this week. Try starting one conversation with a new person. Try starting one conversation. Try starting one conversation. Now you repeat. It doesn't have to be long or deep. Even a brief, friendly exchange is practice. Thank you so much for joining me today for this lesson on making friends in English. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to Daily Dose of English. Please subscribe to Daily Dose of English. Please subscribe to Daily Dose of English. Now you repeat. Ring the notification bell so you never miss a lesson. Ring the notification bell. Ring the notification bell. Now you repeat. And leave a comment telling me about a time you made a new friend. I love reading your stories. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every expert was once a beginner. Every expert was once a beginner. Now you repeat. Keep practicing, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next Daily Dose of English lesson. See you in the next lesson. See you in the next lesson. Now you repeat. Until then, keep making friends and speaking English. Bye for now.